Thanks, Amina. Chandra also with us now. Chandra, H-1B visas, that suspension is going to be, of course, quite critical for the IT industry, among others. Take us through really what Trump has said and what this will imply.
That's right. Good morning, Abha. We have been tracking this for the last few weeks. This proclamation was widely expected, and Trump on cue has suspended a range of work visas from H-1B to L-1 to J to H-2B. All these visas stand suspended till the end of the year. Now, we had spoken to software lobby NASSCOM on this. They were hoping that the suspension would end before October because the new visas are usually issued in October every year. So that's clearly not going to happen. But there is right now a lot of uncertainty because people are not sure if those on H-1B visas who have traveled to India or other countries during the lockdown will be allowed to go back. There is also uncertainty on renewals because a lot of people on these visas, their visas usually come up for renewal or extension around the time of October. So those could be the categories that will be most disrupted. Now, this visa is crucial because over 70% of H-1B visas go to Indians every year. And within that 70%, over 65% goes to those in computer-related occupations, not just Indian IT companies, but also multinationals such as Google, IBM, and Microsoft, which is why you had Sundar Pichai tweeting a few hours ago that he was very disappointed with the immigration proclamation by President Trump. So we have to wait and see what companies do in the meantime, if they will ramp up local hiring or if they will convince clients to offshore more work to India. But this is going to cause a lot of disruption, for those who are waiting for renewals and also those who may have traveled outside the U.S. during the lockdown.
Absolutely. All right, Chandra, thanks for that. Madhu Babu also joining us on this. Madhu, what's the reaction that's bound to come in from the IT majors in particular?
Might look a bit disappointing, but actually our dependency on new visas is a bit modest. So every year only 65,000 visas are given, and maybe I'm just giving a ballpark number, maybe a TCS can get a 2,000 visas or Infi get around 3,000 visas. And these guys go into the US in the October, right, starting from the October of the year. These are the fresh visas which are typically going to go to the US. So now that has been blocked. So, I mean, currently looking at the COVID situation and the kind of growth, anyways, this year is going to be a washout year. There is unlikely that any new fresh entrants would happen to the US. So, and obviously there's a lot of travel ban and travel restrictions and we're not able to fly. So I think the headline might look a bit stunning, but actually material impact will not be there because hardly fresh entrants would have anyways go this year because this is a very downturn year for the sector. Of course, there could be some guys who are stranded because companies must have pulled back some H-1B guys back to offshore, and if they have to go on-site again, I mean, that also might be stalled till the year ending. Now we have this presidential election in November, so obviously this rhetoric was expected because US unemployment rate is around 13%. I mean, though actually computer-related unemployment is only 2.5%, but still Trump would play to the gallery. So that anyways is on the expected lines. So a big chunk of Indian IT employees on-site are already existing H-1B holders and who are already there in US. So almost around 4.5 lakh people are there in US who already have visas and that extensions and all who are there in US, that will not get impacted because these are usually given for 3 years and gradually extended. So that part of the lot will not get impacted, and that is the major chunk of the workforce currently on site. So I think it might hit the sentiment today for the stock, but real business impact will not happen. And one more thing is that after COVID, the way work from home has seen traction. I mean, we had a point where 100% of the employees were working from home with minimal delivery disruption. So borders might not have significance in the next 5 years. I mean, so this might gradually companies will come out through this. The physical presence is actually hardly matter for the services industry. Obviously, there will be service lines where it requires, but I'm not saying that it is completely not required. But we have executed this well in the lockdown as well, the work from home. So headline might look, stunning, but, the real impact will not be there on the business.
All right. Completely take your point. Combination of work from home, limited dependence on new visas. So limited impact is what you're saying, Madhu. Any particular companies that perhaps may be an exception to this, or overall you feel the impact is likely to be muted anyway?
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So almost already companies have almost 50 to 65% as local hires, large tier 1 IT companies. And even the existing base is already people who are there on the visas and who have a renewal and all that. I mean, who have a relevant visas, and that actually he clearly mentioned in that, the renewals and all will go on as such who are already in US. These are for people outside US, and so currently with this COVID and all, travel I think is hardly going to take place. So I don't see much impact on those sentimentally stocks might just fall, but unless the market, I think I expect them to recover back.
All right, great. Thanks so much for that, Madhu. We're going to take a very quick break on that note. Back in just a moment.